part 2 of me acknowledging that I need to change my attitude with my boys who want to help me with my business if I'm going to be able to grow, scale, and keep crushing and building this amazing community, this amazing movement that is the Influence Army. In this episode, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. This is part 2 of my series and the Apple framework, which is acknowledge, pause, pray, listen, execute. And I'm going to work in a little bit of the fear and anger, how my fears lead to anger, and I need to acknowledge that. And then also I'm going to blend in how part of my goals with my coach, which I spoke to a little on the first episode, but how my goals with my mindset/business coach are aligned and helping me work through this. Listen in.
You know when someone is selling from stage and at the end the audience gets up and rushes to the back of the room to buy? That's a table rush. My name is Misha Z, and the Table Rush Talk Show is all about bringing you the tools, strategies, and tactics that you can use to grow your audience and inspire them to buy.
Part 2 of the Apple framework and how it's helping me with my business and family relationships. The framework again is A, acknowledge there's a problem, or there's tension, or there's fear, or there's uncertainty, or there's agitation. And I'm going to expand this out past just a moment, past that being in the moment, but perhaps it's a habit, or what do we want to say? It's a pattern. It's a constant. There we go. And then we need to pause, P, get connected with our God. And then we pray for intuition, answers, solutions, space to solve, to change, willingness, whatever that may be. And then we listen and look for the answers that are being given to us. And that could be direct intuition as we're thinking and pausing and meditating. It could be interactions with people where we get a message from that, where that person is the conduit to God for us. And then we get to execute on what we hear. We get to execute, implement, apply, change. We get to change. I'm building the Influence Army community movement. My son wants to help me. He is all in. He's 22, and he's recently quit his job so he could go 100% in on helping me. And this is a full mentor-mentee relationship as well. He's like, I don't want you to pay me right now. Maybe at some point, but I just want to learn. This is such a massive opportunity for me, Dad. I in 3 to 5 years, when we look back at what you've built, of what we've built, what I've helped you build, this is going to be crazy. And he's all in on that vision, and I love that. And as he's been helping me, as he's over the last month gone all in, culminating to the point where yesterday, literally, I was telling someone, hey, he's down to two days a week, and he's probably going to quit his job. He chimes in over my shoulder, oh no, I quit. Friday was my last day. And I thought, oh my gosh. Anyhow, as I said on the last episode, there were tension points where I was fighting with not only Cooper, but Waylon, my younger son, who's 20, who likes to help now and then as well. And I had this awareness of, hey, I need to change, and I'm getting angry at these key moments. And since Cooper's helping me every day, and we're needing to come up with solutions on how we can help, how we can implement opportunities for him for me to delegate to him. It's really what it is. It's like, how do we build out, and how do I commit, and how do I take the short-term pain to give tasks over to him that he can run with, so I can offload things that I'm currently doing. Let's call them integrator tasks. I'm the face of the business. He's the integrator. So I'm trying to offload integrator tasks to him, but I'm also trying to give him future integrator tasks. Like, we need to build out the actual membership site where people will have direct interaction with the content. So lesson plans, lesson videos, calendars, class calendars, bonuses, things like that. And again, this is all for the Influence Army, where I'm helping heart-centered entrepreneurs go on an influence tour so they can scale their authority, their impact, and their income, and creating this movement. And round one with them is help them go on an influence tour and guest speak on 50 podcasts in 100 days. Not just any podcasts, but podcasts with the perfect audiences. Now, as Cooper's been helping me, and we've come to those points where it's time to delegate stuff to him and work on those processes and figure out what can be delegated, how to delegate it, and what does that look like, and how is it going to work. We come to these points where he, quote unquote, triggers me, and then a little fight or tense situation ensues, and where I might end up raising my voice or showing frustration, and it definitely is directed at him, and that sucks. And I was finding the same thing was happening with Waylon, and definitely would raise my voice, and I can be intimidating, and and what's the excuse? I'm just trying to get my point across. I'm just yeah, Misha not yelling is Misha yelling. How's that? I love that idea. I forgot. I used to say that a lot. I was like, oh yes, I finally understood. Misha yelling, or Misha not yelling. Yeah, well, I have a loud voice. I have a presence. It's probably Misha yelling. And all the stuff that goes around that, which just feels icky and yucky right now. Like, I don't like doing that to my boys, especially someone who's trying to help me and is all in on helping me. And especially as I need the help building out this movement. And I love him, and he's fun to work with, and that anger is directly tied to fear, I believe. And so I really needed to look at, what are my fears? What am I fearful of? And I was, it came to me, hey, like, I'm afraid that taking the 20 minutes to talk it out, to come up with a solution, that 20-minute time that we lost, like, I would see that as lost time. And so now I'm further behind, and I'm deeper in trouble, or not going to get the stuff done that I want to. And so I have those sorts of fears. I want to be right too. I have a fear of being, wrong, or admitting that I don't know. And I really was thinking about it even more, that it's like, I'm afraid that there is a better path, and I'm going to have to learn that. and that's just going to, cause the whole foundation to fall down, which is not realistic not a realistic thought at all, and is crazy. It's insane. It's just not right thinking. What else? Oh yes, I'm definitely afraid that, we won't be able to find the solution in the moment. So maybe he needs to go out and learn something, or do some research, or figure something out, and then come back to me and let me know, hey, this is the way we need to handle this, or this is how you can delegate it to me, or this is the system we need to use, or this is the software we need to use. And for some reason that idea can be horrifying to me. I'm like, oh no, there's financial implications, or oh no, Cooper's gonna have to go figure something out on his own. And what if indeed he's right? Oh my gosh. So then my fear is, oh my gosh, everything is so mission critical, and my members who are in the movement I won't be able to deliver in a timely manner, or I might need to ask, God forbid, I need to ask them for a little patience, or let them know that, hey, I'm still working on this key thing right here, or I'm trying to figure this out, which hasn't happened yet. I haven't had to do that yet. Everything's come together as it's supposed to every week as I'm delivering the new classes, the new lessons, the new worksheets, the new videos. Honestly, it's like a fear of this iterative process. And iterative is like you are learning from each step, and even if it's a supposed failure, you're iterating, you're bouncing your ideas back and forth with Cooper to get the the best solution. And maybe there's a couple bumps along the way, and so that can be scary. That can be a scary thing. Now, I was talking to my friend James about this, about all these fears, and he goes, oh, so you're impatient. And I was like, yeah, I guess that's a great way to put it. I'm impatient with the boys as they're trying to help me. He goes, so you're closed-minded. You're closed-minded to perhaps new ideas, or their ideas, or things needing to be different. And I was like, yeah, I guess that's a great way to simply put it. And then he goes, it sounds like you've got some contempt prior to investigation. Like you're prejudging how the new solution's going to look, work, or be, or you're prejudging their ideas, their thoughts, prejudging what they're going to say as well. But how I like to say it, it's my way or the highway. And he's like, yeah, so he just broke it down for me simply, which I loved. And what was really cool is he was one of the little God shots for me when we were having this conversation. He said, hey, that is natural, and I'll tell you why. But it doesn't mean we need to act on it. And here's a different way you can look at it so you actually see the positive in it. And oh my gosh, it's so good. So I can't wait to tell you about that. And then also, and I got another solution from my friend Yaron, who I just met. And Yaron said, hey, here's a way to reframe all that so you guys can iterate and grow, and this can be an amazing creative process, and it doesn't need to trigger you. And I can't wait to tell you about that. And then I was going to tell you about my coach, Stephanie, Coach Steph. She's my mindset/business coach. And goals that I have set up with her, because I renewed with her, were metrics that I'd set up with her. One is, how am I delegating? It's very clear to me. I told her, hey, over the next 6 months, I want to work on my delegation skills. It's clear to me that I need to get effective at delegating. And so I would love to make that happen and work on that. And of course, Cooper's in the mix. So what a great opportunity. My hand is being forced right away. And then the other little bit was, there was actually 5 or 6 goals we had, but a second one was, I don't want to overreact with my boys. Is they're helping me grow this movement, grow this community, grow the influence army. And one of the metrics we had, so it's a simple question of, did I react to my 2 boys? That's going to be the sort of the, on a scale of 1 to 5, how am I doing with that? And then another question we have around that is, how will I know, did I overreact with my boys? Or how will I know if I reacted calmly and patiently? Like what's the metric? And one of the things is, I'll know if I communicate calmly and patiently as I'm writing my inventory at night, because I inventory every night on how I'm interacting with people, that did I overreact, or was I strong in my communication, right? Strong in my communication, that's where I raise my voice even when I think I don't. Or did I give myself pause? So I love that. I wanted to make sure to work in some of my mindsets / business coach. How does all that fit into there? So in this part 2, I had to acknowledge that I was the problem with my boys, that I can't use the excuse that they're triggering me, so it's their fault, or what do they need to do to change, or it's really like, what is my 95% of that trigger? Like I'm affected, and I need to work on that. I'm agitated. I have the habit, the pattern of when these circumstances happen of overreacting and being in fear and having anger. And so I needed to tie together, what is that fear that I have, those fears that I have that are leading to that anger. And so I believe in the 18 minutes of this episode, you clearly see how I've acknowledged that link. And so the rest of the Apple framework is step 1 is acknowledge, step 2 is pause, step 3, pray, step 4, listen, step 5, execute on what we've heard. So you've got that to look forward in the next parts 3 and or 4.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Table Rush Talk Show. For resources to help you sell your stuff, go to belove.media/resources. That's belove.media/resources. And be sure to subscribe, comment, 5-star, and share. Thank you again for listening.